Oh, hi! Okay, so I am not one to complain, but this thing that happened to me recently just got me all riled up. Okay, so I travel quite a bit, and this is the first time this has ever happened to me. Okay, so recently I was in Toronto, and I was heading back home. So basically, from the morning getting to the airport until I actually got to my final destination was just freaking horrendous. All thanks to this lovely airline, which I always use, and I shall keep them protected because I'm a good person. But I can give you a hint. It's rhymes with American Chimera Lines. I'm subtle. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Okay, so first in Toronto, this friend of mine, told me that he would drop me to the airport. All good and gravy. Okay, we woke up like got ready like a whole 2 hours before the flight. Um, walking to where his car was parked, only to find out that the car isn't there. It was freaking towed. First big problem. Okay, so then called to find out what the fuck happened, and that guard sorted out, I guess. So, alternate route to the airport. I now had to take the express bus, to the airport. So I got to the airport finally, cleared American customs, got to my gate at like 2:20 something. The flight was supposed to be at 2:45 and they were supposed to be boarding at 2. Got there at 2:20 something, went up to the gate, asked the guy had they began boarding yet. He was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm early, yay!" Okay, so at 2:40 they began boarding, and by 3 o'clock everybody was on and we were ready to go. And the plane was driving off the runway or the taxiway, whichever one it is. I don't really speak airport language. And then like for 10 whole minutes we were just in one position, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then 5 minutes later, Captain Crunch came on the overhead speakers or whatever it is, and he was like, folks, we seem to be having some fuel problems, and I don't know how long this is going to take, but I will keep you updated as soon as I know. And I'm just in here like, what the I am going to miss my connecting flight in Miami. So, a whole 30 minutes later, he came back on again, and he was like, um, okay, folks. I'm lying to you guys. Ugh. Okay, he said, okay, folks. We seem to have the problem fixed, and it's gonna take another 30 minutes to get all the schematics and shit over to DC. And I'm just like, really? So about like another 35 minutes later, we're finally getting ready to go, and then he came back on again saying, folks, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but there seems to be a problem with the pump. Apparently the pump isn't sending fuel into the fuel tank thingy. I mean, we can get you to New York, but I don't think that's where you want to go. And all this time, I am like on my phone, checking my connecting flight, like, okay, fine, if we leave now, and we get to Miami in 3.5 hours, like you said, then I will have like half an hour to get to my gate to get to my flight. So I'm like, okay, good, patience. So finally, like 25 minutes later, we everything is fixed. We flew off, almost in Miami. Then once again, Mr. Captain came on, and he was like, folks, I have bad news and good news. The bad news is that there are thunderstorms in the Miami area. The good news is that the airport is not letting any flights in or out, which means that you have a chance of making your connection. So I'm like, okay, silver lining, good. And then he came back on again. I was like, folks, we seem to be running out of fuel, and we can't keep hovering over Miami's airport, so we're gonna go divert to Orlando to fuel up. And I'm like, shit. So we got to Orlando, and I picked up my phone once again, checked my connecting flight, and I'm like, oh my god, it got delayed by a whole hour. So it's great. We can do that. We can do this. The captain came back on again, and he was like, folks, yeah, we are fueling up. We are fueling up right now, and it will take about 30 minutes. and another 30 minutes to get to Miami. And I'm like, this bitch is really trying to make me miss my freaking connecting flight. So, like a whole hour and like 5 minutes later, we finally took off to Miami. I am on my phone in the air checking my flight, and I'm like, oh my god, it got delayed by another half an hour. Thank you. The God is on my side. So we landed in Miami at like 9:25. Checking my phone. Flight is set to leave in 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, we gotta get off. We gotta get off. You know, the plane stopped. You know, everybody stood up, and the captain was like, folks, the seatbelt line, folks, the seatbelt light is still on. Please have a seat. Apparently, there are two planes ahead of us, and we can't get to the gate that we want to park in. And at that moment, my heart shattered. My eyes watered, and I was just crying on the inside like little bitch, because it was just horrendous. And then finally, at 10:15 or 10 something in the teens, we parked, we got into the gate. I missed my flight, and I'm like, shit. Went up to an American Airlines person and told them the situation. They told me I have to go over to the rebooking center. You know, at the same time, I'm on the phone with American trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. I was on the phone with American for like a whole hour and a half, because I basically called them by the time we landed in Miami, and I saw I missed my flight. But then a whole hour and a half on the phone, really busy, because everybody on my flight and like 5 or 6 other planes missed their connection. So everybody was calling. Anyway, so I went to the rebooking center, and the line was fucking long. I have a picture. Lego. Yeah, that was the line for the rebooking center. So I got in the line at like 10:30, and I did not leave. Did not get to the to the end of the line until like 3:15 a.m. Let's count that. That's 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30 plus 15 minutes more to 3:30, which would make me which would have me in the line for like 5 hours and 45 minutes. That's almost 6 freaking hours. So I got to the front of the line, got rebooked, got a voucher for a hotel and a taxi, and for breakfast. I was like, cool, free breakfast. Check the freaking value on the freaking voucher, and it's like freaking $7. What the fuck am I supposed to buy with freaking $7? I mean, a freaking juice alone costs like $3 plus tax. I was just so pissed off. Like, I didn't even use a freaking voucher. It was like, what's the point? What's the point? Anyways, so finally, you know, I got like an hour and a half of sleep. Got to the airport, got some breakfast on my own money, because $7 gonna buy shit. Got to my gate and finally got home. All in all, it was a horrendous journey back home. It was terrible, and I was pissed off at freaking American Airlines. So yeah, they suck. By the way, American, if you guys are watching this and you guys know me, please don't discontinue my membership, because I love being a gold member. Okay, it's cool having priority access, you know, just to like beat all the people in like rows 25 and 22 and 16 who wants to put their freaking bags in your freaking overhead space. No. So I'm so sorry if I made you guys mad, but you guys really pissed me off, and I'm tired, and you guys suck in a good way. So yeah, that was my experience with American Airlines, and I hope when I travel again in August that this doesn't happen to me. Otherwise, I would just have to learn how to fly. Grow wings and fly. Okay, I'm done. Bye.